Hey guys. So let's talk about the updates to the 4.6 beta 3. Let me actually launch my mouse issues again. Let's go and launch the 2019. So there's been a couple of new tools that I've added to this. Two of them I'll do a separate video. There's one that's called Revalue, and there's another one for pattern scaling. I'll do separate videos about these two, but everything else we can talk about in this video because they're just minor improvements, and a couple of them have a little bit to do with more compatibility with Revit 2019 and its ways of changing the API and stuff like that. So let's open a model. Let's open a clean model. Okay, so very quickly, I've reorganized a couple of these tools a little bit just to make them more organized. They used to have a bunch of wipe tools under the views category. I've moved them here, and they're all called wipe now instead of purge or remove or stuff like that. Sort of like more consistent naming. I moved the get center pass and the load more types here in the project because they seem to be very popular. I've added another tool for get RVT info, which you can get information about the RVT files, which are Revit files, Revit templates, or Revit families. So that's a RVT file. If I click on it and open it, it gives me some information about it, like what version of Revit it was created in, whether it's worksheet or not. It gives you the document ID if it exists, the number of saving increments, the workset open settings, and its last saved path. So that's pretty handy. Let's say if I want to go to my downloads folder, and I know I have a couple of families in here, click on it, open, and it gives me some more information about families as well. Like it tells me it's a model is a Revit family, category name, generic models, and if it has a host, it'll actually tell you about the host also. You get the document ID and whether it's worksheet and stuff like that. So I also have another template that we can try. Let's run it on this as well. Same deal. It gives you the exact Revit information. I'll build this into the code. So based on the version of the build number, you exactly know what version of Revit that model has been created under. So that's been added. And then the tool reorganization that we talked about. Let's remove these two, get RVT info. Oh, I added, so a lot of times for me, like right now, currently for my company, I'm working on a Revit template. So there are a couple of tools that I've added to this 4.6 beta 3 that have a little bit to do with like creating worksets and consistency in the models and stuff like that. One of them is this, place origin marker. So it places a marker at zeros at the real 000 on your view. This is a place that if I draw a line and I use the API to pull the coordinates for the endpoints, one of them would be 000. I use this to make sure when I'm like setting up a model, place this, put the sheet title block at the corner of this, just to make sure that all my sheets from then on have the title blocks in the same spot and it uses the real coordinates. Or if you're on a level and you want to turn on, for example, your let's say site and then project base point, server point, like you have these two, and imagine that they have been moved away to other areas and whatnot. If you say place origin marker, it places the origin at the original, the real units of measurement, the coordinate system for Revit, because whoever of you that you work with the API know that Revit actually uses this original coordinate system, and then you have a sort of like overlaid on top relative coordinate system that's called the project base point. Everything in the project is related to this. And it's nice about it because this is like a virtual coordinate system, so you can move this around relative to this. And you also have the site server point. So it's like three different things that are working alongside each other to basically define the coordinate system. So origin crosshair that we added. I did a wipe subcategories tool. So if you go under wipe subcategories, if first of all you ask you, are you sure you want to do, and then say yes, and it gives you a list of subcategories that are purgeable. In this model, this is a clean model. I don't have anything. Let's open that template that I have on my desktop. Did not want it to do that. Desktop. Let's open this sample. Okay, and if I want to go to pyRevit, wipe subcategories, yes. I can see that I have a bunch of subcategories, like the lines would be subcategories. I'm sure that you guys that work with this system with the subcategories Revit understand what this means. Revit has major categories and then subcategories. Lines is one of them. So you can see the parent category and the subcategory there. And if you want to purge them, you can just delete them from, select them from here, and then purge them out of your models. Obviously, this would affect the families that have defined those subcategories inside them. I've added support for MP4 and PNG full tooltips. So in Revit 2019, let me actually show you this one as an example, the crop boundary. So if you hover over some of the tools, you see there's a video. I need to have Windows Media Player later installed on this machine. But basically, Revit has taken away the support for, what is it called? Let me actually see if its own system works. Yeah, this doesn't work either. So Revit 2019 has removed the support for SWF flash files in tooltips. So they've added MP4 instead. All the Revit's internal videos have been changed to MP4. So that's what I've did. I added the support there for MP4s. And then if you all click on it, these tools have both an MP4 and an SWF just to make sure that they're backward compatible with the Revits before 2019. So you can use that to place your videos in there. If you didn't know about this feature, you can just throw in a tooltip.mp4 or tooltip.swf, preferably both of them, to support different Revit versions. And then when pyRevit loads, it actually adds that video to the bottom of the tooltip that you have for that, basically for that tool. And in this machine, it doesn't show because it tells me that I need to have Windows Media Player version 12 installed. It's just the horrible things about Windows. Windows is updated, but I have no idea why the right version of Windows Media Player is not installed. It's so weird. That's that. And then let me actually show you an example of a PDF alongside introducing the pyRevit templates extension. You won't get this right now. It'll come in the future, but it's going to have some tools that are related to creating templates in Revit model. I'll show you some of them right now. Like, for example, if I go and delete all of these, get rid of all of these right now. The templates, for example, I can create fill region swatches in that active view that I have super quickly. So it generates all the swatches for me for all the fill regions that I have defined in the model, make sure I place it somewhere that they're not purgeable. And I basically can print this sheet, verify the scales and sizes and thicknesses and the colors and everything else pretty quickly. So what I was going to show you is this. If I hover over this, you'll see a photo there. So if I go into the bundle, there's this tooltip.png there. So if you do that, you can use it just a normal photo as part of the tooltip on your tool. So that's also there. And then we talked about this. I improved the list element ID. So if I have a bunch of elements selected, and you would go to select list, click selection as clickable links. Now it sort of like lists the names as well for those elements in front of them. If they have different names, like if you have listing views or sheets and stuff like that, they would be different. And then improved legend copy and conversion. So these 4 tools that were dealing with legends, now they actually list the legends and list the target models and stuff like that. You don't have to select them in the project browser anymore. All of them work a lot more consistently and sort of like have a better user interface. So I'll do more videos about the revalue, and then these two are sort of like related to each other, and the scaling of the patterns. So make sure you watch those as well. Thank you.